Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to episode 2 of the Reclaim Your Divinity series with yours truly, Amanda Cannon. So, in this episode, we're going to look at the 3 key foundational steps to reclaiming your divinity. So before we dive in, I just want to put a disclaimer out there. So this video was streamed live in my Facebook group, Reclaim Your Divinity. However, I forgot to record it. So this is take number 2 for YouTube. So if you are watching this on YouTube, and you want to go over and check out the live stream in the Facebook group, I felt really in flow. It was a really good recording there. And there is an activation at the end of it as well, which won't be here on YouTube. And that was an activation to activate your crystalline energy body. Really beautiful as well. Okay, so before we dive in to episode 2 for YouTube, I will just introduce myself. So I'm Amanda Cannon, the founder of Reclaim Your Divinity. And it is my purpose to co-create with you to transcend your limitations by clearing, aligning, and activating you so that you can reclaim your divinity. And so I do have a very special offer that I am announcing at the end of this episode. A very discounted way that you can work with me, which I'm really excited about. So stay tuned till the end for that. And there is always a link to book a call with me in the comment section of the video, or in the information box, I should say. Okay, so in this video, firstly, I'm going to talk about living in separation to your divinity. Why you want to reclaim your divinity, or why you're being called to reclaim your divinity. And then we're going to jump into the 3 key foundational steps to reclaim your divinity. So this is pretty basic information. However, as the series progresses, I will build on these things that we're talking about. And so starting off with living in separation. Okay, so if you can think of your inner being, so your inner being is your energy body, it is your soul, it is your oversoul, it is your intuition, it is your inner guidance, it is, the biggest part of you. Your physical vessel here on earth is just a smidgen of your consciousness, and your inner being, your soul, is that much larger part of you, 95% of you. Okay, and so your inner being thinks of you and all things as perfect. Your inner being sees everything as perfect, as a lesson. It has unconditional love for you. Your inner being only sees the good in you, only sees the beauty in you, the potential in you. And everything that you have ever wanted or dreamed of or are trying to manifest, the family, the relationships, the abundance, the job, whatever, your inner being is that. Your inner being is already that. And so your inner being also has unconditional love for everybody around you, despite what they say or do or treat you, whatever. Your inner being can see the true essence of everything around you, and looks at everything with love. And so anytime that you are experiencing life, either yourself or situations or other people, from a different lens other than that of unconditional love, you're living in separation of your inner being. And there are many, 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 many reasons why we live in separation. And, it often starts from the moment we're born. And for me, even as far back as the womb, I identified separating myself. It's for many reasons, or different life's experiences, creates limiting beliefs. Has us operating in fear. So when we experience all these things in our childhood, it might just be bullied at school, or somebody picking on you for doing something. I used the example, so just say you go to school wearing a blue jumper, and you get picked on for wearing the blue jumper. you might find for the rest of your life, you don't ever want to wear a blue jumper. And it's not an unconscious thing. It's just like every time you're looking for a jumper to buy or something, you're just like, nah, I don't like that one, don't like that one, whatever. But there's like a subconscious program in there that if you wear a blue jumper, you're going to get picked on. And at 30 years old, you still feel like you're going to get picked on for wearing the blue jumper. And so when we allow other people's projections to influence the way we feel, and sometimes we experience direct trauma of that, like obviously with the deeper traumas such as physical abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse, any of those types of traumas, but it can even just be witnessing, like growing up in a household where the parents were, used substances, or they fought a lot, or they were too busy working, and both parents worked all the time and you didn't really get any interaction or proper engagement with them. Any of those sorts of things, they have us feeling certain ways about ourselves, that we're not worthy, we're not good enough, things, abundance isn't available to us, a true loving connection isn't available to us. And so we're operating from this fear-based programming. And so why would we want to reclaim our divinity? So when we reclaim our divinity, when we go on this journey to let go, to transcend and let go of all of these limitations and these experiences that we've had, lovingly let them go, we begin to feel whole, and we start connecting with ourselves, start finding ourselves again, the true essence of ourselves, not just this personality that was developed out of protection, this personality that was developed because it felt that ego thought that if we had this personality trait and that personality trait, that then we would be loved and accepted. When we start to reclaim our divinity, we start to get in tune with who we truly are, what our true message is, what our true voice is, and live from authenticity, living from the heart space, making decisions from the heart space. Because when we are living in the head, making decisions based on ego, like I said, we are operating from the past programming. Whereas if we can transcend ego, drop into our heart space and live from the heart space, from our intuition, from our divine inner guidance, then we can live with authentic expression in the now moment. And when we go on this journey, it's not to say that you're never going to experience contrast or complications or roadblocks or whatever it is, things that we don't necessarily want. Those things will continue to show up. However, we can look at them through the lens of, well, what does this situation have to teach me? What am I learning here? What do I still need to transcend here? What new layer of healing needs to happen? And we can be grateful and appreciative from the learning that we're getting from that experience. And that's how our inner being views everything. They just view the good in it. And so when we are operating from that perspective, then we can move through the trying times, the turbulent times, knowing that everything's going to be all right. Everything always works out. Since when doesn't it not ever work out? It always works out. It's going to be okay. And we can have that inner trust, that knowing and that guidance. And that just, brings a sense of inner peace and calm to, even some of the hardest times. So, and one of the most important reasons as to why you would want to reclaim your divinity is because when you heal yourself, when you transcend your limitations, you are activating your light, you are raising your vibration. And as you walk through life, as you move through the earth, you are admitting a healing vibration, a healing energy. And that has a ripple effect on the population like you just don't even understand. Like one healed person living and moving through life from unconditional love can impact hundreds of thousands of people. And, if you're tuning in, you probably are of the belief that this is how we save the earth. This is how we stop the war and all of the things that we don't want. So we heal ourselves and spread our healing, loving light. Okay, so the 3 key foundational practices that keep me connected and keep me coming back into alignment and connection with my inner being, because I'm not going to lie, I'm not perfectly healed. I still have quite a bit of work to do on myself, and I have already done a lot of work on myself. So, you know, there are times when I allow myself to be pulled out of alignment, and, you know, using these practices, you know, I can see it. I can see it instantly now. Like, I know, and I use these practices to get me back in. So these practices, you know, I don't do them all the time, but they're all sort of like intermingling, and, you know, some I need some days and some I need others, and it's just sort of intuitively feeling into knowing what I need in the moment. So the three key things we're going to talk about is the body, the mind, and healing. So starting with the body. So your body is your physical vessel that is holding the part of your consciousness that is here incarnated on earth in this lifetime. And so your physical vessel, it has such a big task. It has such a big role to play. It keeps you alive. It keeps you functioning. All of the millions of different processes that are going on in your body in every second to keep all your organs functioning, your lymphatic system functioning, your nervous system, your neurological system, you know, all of it, you know, keep your heart beating, your blood pumping, your breathing when you sleep. It's quite a miracle, really. And your body, you know, it has the biggest task. And so it is so important to listen to our body, because our body is communicating with us all the time. It's telling us when something's not right, when something needs to change, you know, and we feel our intuition in our body as well. And our body stores all of our memories, all of our experiences are stored in the cells of our body. And therefore, by working with the body, we can help to heal our past, to transcend our past, so that we can get into alignment with our inner being. And so ways to do this is movement. So you can do the spiritual practices, you know, such as yoga, intuitive dance, you know, going to those sacred ceremonial dances. There are lots, I see lots happening all the time. But even I like to just let myself dance, you know, intuitively. And, you know, when I do this, the way that I dance is not in any way that I would usually choose to dance. It's amazing. It's such a sacred, feminine, beautiful, intimate practice with me and me. It's something that is for me. And, you know, when I move in this way, I allow my body to express itself. It's that femininity coming through. It's healing that femininity. It's allowing myself to express my body, to express this feminine energy. And, you know, so I feel like if you just let your body do what it intuitively wants to do, you may be surprised at what comes out. And then with yoga, obviously, yoga is a spiritual practice. It is you know, a health, strength, building practice as well. However, you know, its traditions and its lineage is that the yogis downloaded these asanas, you know, to help move stagnant energy, to help connect with the breath, connect with the body, and move the stagnant energy. And if you've had a Kundalini rising or activation, you'll know that the body just intuitively knows how to move what asanas to put itself in to get the stagnant energy moving. So that's why movement is so important, is it allows the energy to flow, to move. And if we can move daily, then we can prevent the energy from becoming stagnant, from building up. Because, you know, obviously in day to day, we experience stresses, we experience challenge. And if we don't move and get that energy flowing, then it can build up and become stagnant. So it doesn't have to be a spiritual practice. It can be, you know, any traditional forms of exercise or dance or movement, just anything to get the body moving and energy flowing. And so the next point here is nourishment. So obviously, we love our bodies. We want to look after our bodies. We want our bodies to feel good. And when we feel in alignment, we feel high vibrational. We feel light. We feel energized. We feel good about ourselves. Our skin might be glowing. Our eyes might be glowing. And if we're putting sugars and toxins and chemicals, eating packaged foods with all sorts of who knows what in them, and substances, nicotine, alcohol, whatever, if we're putting those things into our body, that is dense poison energy going into our body. It creates brain fog. It creates lethargy. It separates us because we can't be, it's harder to be in tune with your inner guidance, with your inner being, when you've got all this cloudiness, this denseness going on inside you. Whereas if we just fill our body with nourishing, teas, and like the herbal teas and whole foods, you know what I mean. For me, I even gave up coffee because I found that coffee was a trigger for me for anxiety. So coffee is a stimulant, and I've got 3 kids under 5. And so if I have a coffee and the kids are going bonkers, well, I tend to lose it at them a little bit easier than what I would if I was, having good healthy foods in my system. And the same goes with sugars and everything. I find if I have an unhealthy eating day, my mood and my temper and my patience, everything is completely off, completely off. And so to be in alignment, to be in true alignment with who we really are, we need to eat those high vibrational foods, keeping our body clean so we can feel connected. So communicating with the body. So our body, it listens to us, it can hear us. And one sure way to show yourself that you love yourself is to tell yourself and to tell your body, tell your body, I love you for supporting me. I love you. Like if you're a mum, I love you for carrying my children and to birthing my children. I love you for nourishing my children. I love you for keeping me alive and for supporting me, my feet for carrying me every day, one step at a time, forward every day. If we have a sore part in our body, like talking to the body and healing it, because your words, people don't understand that everything that we say is a spell. And so when we talk about our body in this loving way and sharing love through our words, and then whether you know it or not, or in tune or not, you are a healer, you are in touch with this divine healing energy, because that's what you are source energy. And so you can heal with your hands and your energy and your intention. And so it's so important just to really show up for yourself and love yourself in that way. And then communicating with the cells in your body. So our cells are regenerating at I can't remember. Isn't it something like we will have a complete new body of cells? Like, I'm pulling a number out here. Maybe it's like 7 times in our lifetime, but it might even be a lot higher than that. But basically, our cells completely regenerate and completely rebirth, multiple times in our lifetime. And so we can talk to ourselves, we can command ourselves, telling them what we want, what healing in our body we would like to take place, what feelings we would like. We'd like to feel prosperous and happy and joy. We can literally, each individual cell has its own individual brain. We can feed it information. We can reprogram it. And that is something that I can do in hypnotherapy, using cell command therapy, commanding your cells into a new way of being, a healed way of being when you're in a subconscious state. So just sending that energy direct into your cells to repair, reheal, rewire. So that's it for the body portion. And now we're going to move on into the mind. So understanding the mind is just so important to living a prosperous life. And I'm sure you're probably all aware of this. I'm just going to touch on it anyway. So when we think of the mind, our mind is the thoughts that we come up with. And remember, you are not your thoughts. Your thoughts are running on programming from your past, a lot of the time fear-based programming. So your thoughts are just going. Sometimes we're not even conscious of our thoughts, but our thoughts are creating our emotions. And so we can use our emotions as our guidance system of understanding, well, what thoughts am I thinking? Because I feel like this. What thoughts are making me feel like this? But our thoughts create our emotions, and our emotions create our vibration. Our emotions are emitting the vibration, and then the vibration creates our reality. And so you can look at what's going on in your life. And if you are just getting the same, repeating the same, then you know that your thoughts are stuck in a place that is not helping you. And in order for you to reclaim your divinity, you need to transcend your thoughts so that you can create new emotions, better feeling emotions, so that you can raise your vibration. As you raise your vibration, you get more connected with your divine inner being, more connected with all of those manifestations that you've got waiting for you, and you can bring them in. So change your thoughts to change your reality. Change your thoughts to bring in your manifestations. And just be aware of your thoughts. Like, what are your thoughts focused on? Identify pain points. What thoughts do you think regularly that are making you not feel so good? What can you do to transcend those thoughts? Affirmations help, but they only go so far. Like, if it's a deep-rooted belief that is causing you to repeat those thoughts, you probably need some deep healing to go with that. Whereas if it's something a bit more surface, affirmations can certainly work really well for you to transcend your thoughts and to change your thought process. Another thing is to just focus on good feeling thoughts. And this is a really good practice to have the moment you wake up in the morning to set the tone for the day. So as soon as you wake up, before you even get out of bed, before you even open your eyes, instead of, thinking about, what you were thinking about yesterday before you went to bed, or anything really, just think about something that feels good. Maybe it's like, oh, that was a really good sleep. Instead of like, oh, the alarm's going off, I've got to get out of bed. Like, oh, I really enjoyed that sleep. Or, oh, my blanket feels really, really nice to me right now. Or, oh, I'm looking forward to that really hot shower. Whatever it is that, just any good feeling thought that you can find, spend the first moments of your day thinking good feeling thoughts. Don't allow your thoughts to spiral from the second you wake up into, oh, it's another day at work. It's another day I've got to have this meeting with the boss, or had a shit night's sleep, or whatever it is. Sorry, I probably can't swear on YouTube. Oops. Okay, so I have to go and edit that out. So yeah, basically working on your mindset is a major role, and that's a daily practice. It's a constant daily practice of being consciously aware of your thoughts and where they need to shift. And so finally, I'm going to go into healing, and this is a big, huge one, and it's such a huge topic with so many variations. So this is only going to be very basic, but obviously in order to align with our inner being and to feel confident and safe in allowing our beautiful, divine, authentic expression, our beautiful light to shine, we need to let go of all the past experiences that have caused us to have self-imposed limitations, have caused us to develop these belief systems that keep us stuck. And so in order to let go, sometimes we can just let go. Sometimes we can just make that conscious choice. I'm like, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to let it go. Addictions, for example. Sometimes when people are they're ready to stop smoking, they're like, I'm just going to let it go. And they can, because they've really made that conscious choice and committed to it. Other things, or if you like, on the smoking example, if you're really, really, really addicted, it's a lot harder, it might be harder to just let that go, and any other self-imposed limitation, abundance, growing up from a really poor family that never had anything. It was always struggling for money. And, you're seeing a lot of stress around money in the home. It might be hard for you to believe that abundance is available to you, that you are not your parents, you are not your past. And just because your parents struggle doesn't mean that you have to struggle as well. And in fact, you are limitless in what abundance you can attract. And so often we need to understand it and feel the emotions that we have stored in our body so that we can allow those emotions to release. We need to feel it to heal it, allow the emotions to flow so that we can get in flow. And it really is just an ever-evolving journey, working through the layers and layers and layers as they present themselves. Often we may think that we have healed something and think that we're actually completely done with it. And then, 2 years later, hello, trigger. And, this thing's coming up to be, another layer of healing, because we're only healing what we're ready to heal in that moment. And so it's just constantly being aware and doing the work. And so tips to help you on your healing journey is journaling is a really good one. So you can get journals like shadow work journals with journal prompts to help you with the questions, to get you writing about your life so that you can start to uncover, the root cause of your belief system. And so like when I journal, I find that sometimes, I'll start talking about this period of my life and then it'll move over to this period and then I'll go over here before I actually get to the root of what is wanting to come out. And yeah, so that's journaling is really good for getting to the root if you persevere with it. Walking in nature. Nature is healing. Nature's natural water systems, natural bodies of water, waterfalls, etc. They're all healing. If you get into the water and you ask it to heal you, you talk to the earth, you talk to the trees, Mother Earth is always here for you. She holds you. She has got her loving energy all around you. She is wanting to heal you because as you heal, she heals. So nature is a great way to heal, as well as meditation. When you get into a good meditation practice and you can really drop in, it's amazing how much energy you'll start to feel shift. And all you have to do is go still, calm down the nervous system and just allow that energy to shift. Talking it out, talking with somebody who you feel confident and confiding in. It's always good to share rather than keep things bottled in. And then all kinds of holistic therapies. There are so many different kinds of therapies. So whilst traditional Western kinds of therapies, they are certainly beneficial and they certainly have helped people, they can sometimes take a long time to get to the root cause of a problem. And, sometimes people are going to a psychologist for years and all they're doing is just talking. Yes, they come up with tools to help them cope, but they don't necessarily get to the root cause of it. And, I was talking to a client, a potential client who wanted to see me for anxiety. However, due to epilepsy, I couldn't treat him with hypnotherapy. And so, I just had a chat with him about, the root causes and about what he shared with me from his life, sharing my experiences and stuff, and just talking about the root causes. And he's like, wow, that is so much more valuable information than what I've received in my sessions with my psychologist. And that's in like a 10-minute conversation with him. Getting to the root of our belief system, because if we don't get to the root of it and don't heal it from that root, just like a weed, if you don't pull out the root, it's going to continue to grow and continue to grow. We need to kill it at the root, reframe it at the root. And so obviously there are all different kinds of holistic therapies, like the somatic therapies, the sound healing, the energy therapies, the Reikis, everything. So many beautiful, amazing holistic therapies out there for you to try. So just find what resonates with you. Find, the practitioner that you're drawn to. It might not be the therapy that you're drawn to. It might be the practitioner, or it might be the therapy. Whatever one, just follow your intuition. Okay, so that brings me to my offer. So we just wanted to talk about how I work in my therapies, the therapies that I offer. So I work, in a holistic approach with the subconscious mind and energy and sound all at once to offer you like an all-encompassing healing experience. So working with the mind in hypnosis to identify the root cause and assisting you with the energy shift to help you really release and clear out the stagnant energies that are associated with that root cause that we're looking at. And then I also help to bring in the new energies and activations with sound using light language, channeled sounds and frequencies from the divine that your soul needs to hear. And these sounds and frequencies that come out of my mouth, they're speaking directly to your soul's blueprint. And so it's not something that you hear excuse me. Sorry. It's not something that you hear on a conscious level. It's an energetic level. So that sound is stirring up the energy in you so it can release, and it's also activating in you divine code through sound, activating your divine soul blueprint. And so the offer that I have for you today is called Recalibrate to 888, Unlock Unlimited Potential. So 888 is 888 hertz. And my coach I'd been working with, she got me onto this. She downloaded it. This is the new frequency that we're to attune to align to, as Mother Earth ascends. This is the new frequency that we've been asked to step into. It is higher than the usual 532 hertz. I think it is for love, 111 on the clock as I say that. But yeah, it is an 888 being the infinity symbol. It is infinite abundance, infinite potential, infinite whatever the hell you want, infinite you, unlocking your limitlessness. That was a hard one to say. So just knowing that, your inner being, the truth about you is you can have, be, see, do whatever you want, The only thing that is in the way is the self-imposed limitations. So how I help you to transcend those self-imposed limitations and unlock your unlimited potential is we'll have 3 calls together over a 30-day period. All of them will be energy healing calls, but the purpose and intention of the first call is to go deep within, set the intentions, identify what it is the most pressing, limiting belief that you need to work on, that you need to transcend, and clear in some energies around that. And then we'll move into the hypnotherapy session in the next call. And this will be like a 90-minute, potentially 2-hour, depending on how long it goes for, what comes up, hypnotherapy session to really identify the root cause of that limitation so that we can release it, reframe it into the belief that your inner being believes about it, and rewire that new belief into your subconscious program, into your cells. And there will be energy work and activation during that as well. And then the third call will be closing it off with a coaching call, energy clearing and light language activation. You will receive a personalized meditation to listen to with backing music of 888 hertz for you to listen to really reprogram into your subconscious programming this new way of being that is in alignment with your inner being. And I'm also including a bonus guided activation to reconnect you with your cosmic origin. So this is over valued at over $1,500 Australian, and I'm offering it for $888, just $888 until 6 p.m. Sunday night, Australian Eastern Standard Time. And I forgot to mention the reason that this is on offer is because I have just let go of my corporate gig, so I can be 100% committed to my sacred soul mission, my starseed mission to help humanity reclaim their divinity and rise with the ascension of Mother Gaia, rise to the 4D, rise to the 5D. Okay, so that is my sacred mission, and I'm all in now. And that means that I also have more space and availability to see clients, and including on weekends as well. So I am putting this beautiful offer out there to celebrate me and celebrate you, to really help you go on your journey to reclaim your divinity, to reclaim your authentic expression, to reclaim your authenticity, to reclaim you and create the life that you want and spread your healing energy to the world, because the world needs it. So details to book a call with me or to book in that offer will be in the comment section of this video. And yeah, that's it for this episode. And the episode 3 of the Reclaim Your Divinity series will be streaming live in my Facebook group. Again, that link will be in the description box. That will be streaming live in a fortnight's time and uploaded to YouTube after. I hope you have a wonderful day, night, or evening whenever you are tuning in. Beautiful soul, so nice to have you. And until the next time, take care. With love.